Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show, only on WBFT, brought to you by First Bank. And by Zaxby's Friends Family Flavor, with your host, Chris DeLambert, only on the WBFT NFHS Sports Network.
Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I'm Chris DeLambert. With me today, the marketing director for Zaxby's, Hector Perez. Hector, what's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, just getting started for the week, and it's rainy, but it should be a pretty good week so far.
All right, nothing better to come in out of the rain and get some hot chicken, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
All right, so today, in celebration of Veterans Day over the weekend, was it today that you did buy one, get one for veterans, is that right?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
How was that received?
It's actually been going pretty well. I mean, earlier in the day it was busier. Around lunchtime, I came actually to the store, and I could barely put my foot in the store, but
that's always got to be a good sign, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, especially for every store. I'm hoping it was for every store.
All right, with the holidays on the way, Zaxby's is available to cater your events.
Yes, sir. We've got a plethora of catering platters for everybody when it comes to either chicken fingers, chips, wings, whatever you want, really.
And you all deliver the catering, right?
Yes, sir, we can.
All right, cool. That sounds great, man. I might take you up on that. What else is going on with Zaxby's?
Other than that, I think the TLC sandwich, if nobody's ever tried it, and the smoky sandwich, it's going pretty well. We're continuing it on. There's a couple things coming up I can't disclose, but if you haven't tried it, try those two sandwiches.
So how classified is it? When we go off air, can you whisper it in my ear?
You know what? I'm going to keep it to myself for now.
Wow. I do have to share with you, last week we talked about the barbecue sauce, and I told you one of my kids told me the barbecue sauce is Zaxby's top shelf. I came by the store after we got done, picked some up like I told you I would. I'm digging it.
All right, good. Yeah, I actually came by. I was actually making your food. I was making sure you were getting it. So I'm glad that you grabbed it.
All right, so you get my seal of approval. It is a good, sweet barbecue sauce. The only place I can think right off the top of my head I can get better is in my kitchen when I make it myself. But so you guys are doing okay. So I definitely recommend it. So check that out. If you're in the mood for anything chicken-wise, come on by Zaxby's. Great food. The cheddar nibblers. I got turned on to those.
The cheddar nibblers?
What's it called?
The nibblers or the cheddar bite?
Yeah, the cheddar bites.
The cheddar bites. Okay. Yeah, no, those are great. Whenever I started working at Zaxby's, I used to eat so much of those.
I thought you were going to tell me when you started working at Zaxby's, you invented them.
Oh, no.
All right.
No. I've got plenty of ideas, but those weren't one of them. But yeah, they're really great, especially with the marinara sauce. They're killer, especially hot. The cheese just kind of tends to extend, and I think anybody that enjoys, what would you call mozzarella sticks?
Yeah.
This is a better alternative.
Okay, very good. Well, as always, thank you. Thank you for your support of high school sports here in Lee County, and thank you for being the host for the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I will be right back after this break with a couple of more guests to add right there in that seat.
No, there we go.
If something is worth doing, it's worth doing right. In this case, it's worth doing right and left. Introducing the all-new buttermilk and hand-breaded Southern Sweet and Smoky and Southern TLC chicken sandwiches. One has sweet pickles, shredded lettuce, smoky backyard sauce, and a potato bun. The other is an undeniable classic with lettuce, tomato, and mayo. Zaxby's. Friends. Family. Flavor. Order ahead on Zaxby's.com or use our app to skip the wait.
For online banking made easy, there's only one choice, First Bank. Online banking, checking accounts for business and family to fit every need, including mobile banking, no-fee traveler's checks, and money orders, and so much more. First Bank is conveniently located on Spring Lane, South Corner in Sanford, and North Main and Broadway. First Bank is your progressive community bank.
Hi, I'm David Bashir. Here at First Bank, I feel like we've got all the right people in the right place to serve your banking needs now and in the future.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I'm Chris DeLambert. I'm joined by inimitable Stewart Forbes, who is here to give away some hardware, and defensive line coach for the Southern Lee Cavaliers, Ed Burgess. Ed, how's it going?
Doing well.
Yeah?
Yeah, had a good week last week.
You did?
Had a good game. Got to get some young kids in at the end. Good performances offensively and defensively. We're excited. Get ready for first round of playoffs.
Yeah, pulled an 8 seed.
Yeah.
I think everybody had a question mark as to whether you guys were going to get a home game or not. Everybody here locally, I'm sure, is fired up about that.
First one ever.
That's pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome. We'll give away some hardware, and then you and I will talk a little bit more about the matchup. Who'd you bring with you today?
I brought with me offensively Nick Locklear, who On 18 carries, had 195 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's our offensive MVP. And defensively, I got Tanner Seagroves with me. Tanner had 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 quarterback hurry. Along with his other duties, he caught a touchdown pass, long snap for us, and Tanner does a little bit of everything we ask him to do.
Well, you guys, you know, the Southern Lee team is, you guys really only have, seems like, about 11 guys to play. I don't know, it's crazy. How much defense did you get in this past Friday? Did you miss it? Yeah, it's a whole lot more thumping somebody than it is getting thumped, right? Yeah. You guys ready for the playoffs? Yes, sir. All right. I've got some free chicken for you guys. That's $25 gift cards from Zaxby's. We will be out there Friday night wishing you the best. Anything you guys would like to add? No? Come on, this is your chance. You got the cameras rolling. It's live TV. You can say whatever you want.
It's going to be a big game. That's all I got to say. It's going to be a real big game. We're going to speed out there.
All right, very good. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back. Like I said, Coach Burgess and I will talk about a little bit about this week's matchup. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show.
If something is worth doing, it's worth doing right. In this case, it's worth doing right and left. Introducing the all-new buttermilk and hand-breaded Southern Sweet and Smoky and Southern TLC chicken sandwiches. One has sweet pickles, shredded lettuce, smoky backyard sauce, and a potato bun. The other is an undeniable classic with lettuce, tomato, and mayo. Zaxby's. Friends. Family. Flavor. Order ahead on Zaxby's.com or use our app to skip the wait.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Coach, first home game or first home playoff game in program history.
Yeah, excited. And a win will be the most wins in a season in program history.
You guys are checking off the milestones.
Trying to.
So you've got Franklinton coming up. What do you expect to see?
First of all, they got very good size. They like to run the football. They have a left-handed quarterback. First time we faced one of them this year. It's going to be a challenge, but I think our kids are excited, and Coach Neal's preaching like he always does for us to do the right things, and we do the right things and put ourselves in the right position, we got a great chance.
Schematically, who is this team most like that you've played this year?
You know, they like to run the inside game, kind of like Lee does. They got a lot of power runs. They pull some guards. I think they're a little bigger than anybody we played.
Really?
Yeah.
Bigger than Lee County?
Yeah, their offensive line is pretty good size.
Okay. Do you think the success you had in the second half of the Lee County game will serve you well, where you guys were really able to take away that inside run game?
Yeah, I think that as a defensive staff, we have a pretty good scheme for Franklinton, and I think we're going to throw some wrinkles they haven't seen before, and hopefully, you know, that'll do it. If not, we'll adjust and do what we have to do. That's been our theme all year. I mean, we try to take away a couple things that the other team likes to do, and if we have to adjust to do that, we do, and we want to make you do something you're not comfortable doing.
All right, now ordinarily this past week would have been a week off in between close of conference play and the playoffs. I want to ask you, coming off the loss against Lee County, which had to be disappointing, especially with what you were able to do with them defensively in the second half, how hard was it to get the team refocused on this past week's game?
It wasn't hard. I mean, it was a must-win for us again. We wanted to be, you know, make sure we made the playoffs. We wanted to seal up second place in the conference, not have any, you know, hiccups. You know, last year we got beat out with a coin toss. So we wanted to control our own destiny, and the kids took that to heart and really put together a complete game against Harnett Central.
Okay, and as a program, when you get to this point, are you looking at this week to week, or do you go into the locker room and say, you know what, our objective is to win a state championship?
Well, you know, when Coach Neal first got to Southern, his calendar every year is for 16 weeks. So he plans on going to the state playoffs every year, which is a great thing, but we definitely a week at a time. I mean, we're 0-0 right now, looking to be 1-0 after Friday night. So.
All right, sounds good. What time's kickoff Friday?
7 o'clock as far as I know.
All right, 7 o'clock kickoff on location at Southern Lee. Of course, you got a decision to make because there's a game going on across town as well. But everybody in the county, whether they're Yellow Jackets or Cavaliers, will be pulling for you. We want to see both teams deep into the playoffs. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
Here's to a big win Friday night.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back after the break with the Lee County Yellow Jackets.
Shop our inventory online at us1cdj.com.
All my sales, service, and finance has been done here at US One. They are great guys to work with.
And I can honestly say that in every aspect of the process, I was included, I was respected, and I would highly recommend coming to give them a try.
I have shopped US One for over 20 years. Ranger Happy and I enjoy it, and we love this place.
Real prices, real people. Get the real deal
at US One.
If something is worth doing, it's worth doing right. In this case, it's worth doing right and left. Introducing the all-new buttermilk and hand-breaded Southern Sweet and Smoky and Southern TLC chicken sandwiches. One has sweet pickles, shredded lettuce, smoky backyard sauce, and a potato bun. The other is an undeniable classic with lettuce, tomato, and mayo. Zaxby's. Friends. Family. Flavor. Order ahead on Zaxby's.com or use our app to skip the wait.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I'm Chris DeLambert. I'm joined on set once again with Stewart Forbes. That was a quick change around.
Yes, it was.
I thought maybe you would change pullovers between the segments.
You, man, a lifelong mistake.
I can admire the loyalty, man. I can admire the loyalty. It's a beautiful thing. Coach Steve Perdue from the Lee County Yellow Jackets. Big win this past weekend. Were you ever concerned you might look right past this game?
No, our boys are a focused group, so I wasn't too worried about that.
You were never worried about it?
No.
Okay, awesome.
They came out and practiced well on Monday. We challenged them every day in practice, so I wasn't too worried about that.
All right, beautiful. So, who'd you bring with you?
First off, we had number 21, a senior defensive back, Alante Lewis. Next up, we have a junior receiver, number 8, Tim Lett.
I gotta ask. You guys in the last, Tim, you do primarily, you're the punt returner for the team. How bad do you want to get your hands on every punt, man? You look a little brokenhearted anytime you're not able to pick it up.
Yeah, because we try to like block it instead of returning it.
So what's your instructions from coach? If you've got it clean, or if you can't just fair catch it?
Yeah.
Man, that's kind of like, okay, coach, come on, I'll talk to him later. We got to get you a good return in there. Every week seems like they take a shot or two down the field to you, try to get you in the seam, try to get you on go routes, and you run and run and run and run. How rewarding is it to finally hit on a couple of those?
Very, because we run it a lot, like the routes. So it's pretty, yeah.
All right, you guys ready for this weekend?
Yeah.
What's your goal?
Win.
Win? I thought you were going to tell me state championship.
We're going to get there too. Yeah. 1 week at a time.
All right, very good. We're excited for you guys this weekend. 7 o'clock kickoff on location at Lee County.
7:30.
Oh, 7:30. Okay, my mistake. 7:30 kickoff. Everybody in Lee County be pulling for you guys. I appreciate it. We've got $25 gift cards for you guys from Zaxby's.
I appreciate it.
Coach, anything you want to add about these gentlemen?
Two great guys. They battle at practice a lot of times. You know, with Tim being a receiver and Alante being a corner, they get after it some in practice too.
Who gets the better of those matchups? I like that. I like that. All right. We'll be right back. Coach Steve Perdue and I will talk a little football. Maybe we'll commiserate again about our NFL squads. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on the other side. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show.
It's game day at Classic Nissan.
I'm Mike Stozer, General Manager at Classic Nissan here in Sanford. My team of professionals have every position covered to meet all of your automotive needs.
The starting lineup. Your captains on offense, number 5, Holden Cruz. And number 10, Jasmine Dowell. Your captains on defense, number 55, Wesley Tater Womack. Number 7, Steve Dandrin. Whether you're a Yellow Jacket or a Cavalier, everybody gets a classic deal. For sales, service, or parts, visit us at ClassicNissanSanford.com or in person on Highway 87, right across from Walmart in Sanford.
Nobody beats a classic deal.
Official Caro sponsor.
All right, welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I'm Chris DeLambert. With me, Coach Steve Perdue with the Lee County Yellow Jackets, undefeated conference champions in the Tri-County Conference. Coach, Dudley is one of the few teams in 3A puts up more rushing yards than you guys do.
Yeah, Dudley is one of the most talented teams in the state. For the last 10 years, they won a state championship. 2 other times, they went to the regional finals. So they've got talent all over the field.
I know they've got a 5A receiver and big-time prospect in defensive line. Who else jumps off the tape at you?
They have a very athletic group of quarterbacks they play. They have several guys that they've handed off to in the backfield. The other guy that plays beside the 4-star defensive lineman is 6'4", 350 pounds. So they've got some beef in the middle.
So when you talk in terms of raw talent, size, speed, how do they stack up with the rest of the teams that you've played up to this point?
I don't think it's real close. I think honestly they have the most physical talent of any team we've seen.
Okay, we're friends, but I have to ask you a candid question. You guys played a relatively soft schedule through conference. You had a couple of challenging teams that you played in conference. Are you concerned at all about how your guys are going to react when they get hit in the mouth the first time?
I guess you're always a little bit concerned before any playoff game with that. But I think the one thing that we always put to our guys since the first day I got there was our best competition a lot of times is going to be ourselves in practice. So I think we stick to that. As long as we get after it in practice every day, I think on Friday night it becomes easier. Okay. So hard to find criticisms with an 11-0 record. But I think you and I have talked about this, and I think you'd be the first to admit, still I can't possibly feel like you guys are playing as clean a game as you need to get deep into the playoffs. Is that a fair statement? I think, at times, like last week, I thought we played a great first quarter, maybe one of our better quarters, and the second quarter might be one of our worst. We finished another good third quarter, and it was over for the fourth. So I think if we could have put 3 of the first quarters together, that we feel really good right now.
That quarter didn't work like that. Yeah. So are you seeing signs that you think you can clean up the penalties and the mistakes?
Without a doubt, and the thing at this point in the year, the boys understand when they messed up. It's not where we're still having to point out things. They can point them out. Now we just got to continue to fix them.
All right. So a lot of things have gone right since you took over the Lee County program. What is something that hasn't gotten to the level that you would have liked it to have been by this point?
I want to continue to build our student section. That's one thing I think and it's gotten better every game we've had a home game. I want to continue to see more fans, more students keep coming out to the games, and give them incentives to do it. So that's something I'd like to continue to build.
Sounds good to me. All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with one last segment. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show with Chris DeLambert.
For online banking made easy, there's only one choice, First Bank. Online banking, checking accounts for business and family to fit every need, including mobile banking, no-fee traveler's checks, and money orders, and so much more. First Bank is conveniently located on Spring Lane, South Corner in Sanford, and North Main and Broadway. First Bank is your progressive community bank.
Hi, I'm David Bashir. Here at First Bank, I feel like we've got all the right people in the right place to serve your banking needs now and in the future.
For decades, residents of Lee County have trusted First Health of the Carolinas to provide quality health care to the Sandhills region. First Health is excited to expand services offered in Lee County with the opening of the new First Health Lee campus located at 2919 Beech Tree Drive in Sanford. The newest First Health campus includes a 25,000 square foot fitness center with an indoor walking track, saltwater pool, weight area, cardio equipment, Les Mills group exercise classes, and so much more. Also offered within the fitness center are physical therapy and cardiac rehabilitation services. The 40,000 square foot medical office building includes a primary care practice, convenient care, outpatient imaging and laboratory services, back and neck pain, and a variety of surgical specialties. For more information about the new First Health Lee campus, visit our website at www.firsthealth.org or call 1-800-213-3284.
All right, welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches. So, Coach, I'm going to have you put on your analyst cap. I need to know, how many games does the University of Central Florida have to win before they get seriously considered as a Final Four participant?
Yeah, I think it's going to take one more year. I think they finish out this year strong, win another BCS game. That's going to let them start highly ranked next year, and they'll be in that spot. But I think they got to go one more year.
You really?
I think so. I don't know if that should be that way, but I think that's the way it is.
So answer me the question. At this point, I think it's a dead set certainty that Alabama and Clemson are 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, something can happen. That's why we play the games. After that, Notre Dame is in, unless something crazy happens against Syracuse at home this weekend. And then I believe the Big Ten champ gets in, assuming that it's Ohio State or Michigan, and they've run the table. The only other real strong argument could be if Oklahoma were to get past West Virginia and then beat whoever is in the Big 12 championship. So basically what I'm saying is that Notre Dame is in. Notre Dame is 7 tiers below those top 2 teams. Would you rather see Clemson, Notre Dame, or see Clemson against a team like UCF?
Well, I think the thing with Notre Dame is you have that prestige of it being Notre Dame. So I think, and obviously the people selling the tickets and all that stuff know that too. So I think that builds it up. I think they would be the least likely to make it out of those groups, though. I think if let's say
you don't think Notre Dame's a lock if they run the table.
I don't think they're a lock.
Really?
I think if let's say Georgia and Bama play in the SEC championship,
all right, here we go.
Georgia happens to win. Are you gonna get 2 SEC schools, or are you gonna kick Bama out?
If we do this 2 SEC thing again, there will be rioting in the streets.
And especially if it's over an undefeated Notre Dame team, I agree. But Bama's gonna make it.
Bama's in.
Bama's in.
I think if Bama, we asked the question on radio today from the Cheap Seats. Check out the podcast, best show on radio. We asked the question today, and I was half serious when I asked it. Would you consider sitting Tua until the national playoffs?
But they can't do it versus Auburn just because it's Bama and Auburn.
They're going to beat the brakes off Auburn this year.
That's what you never know. You never know. But they
you don't get to do it twice in a
row. They definitely should beat them, and they should beat them well. But there's been some years where that wrong team won in that game. But I feel you.
I am not a Bama guy. No. I'm not a Nick Saban guy. This Alabama team is as good a college football team as I've ever seen. When you talk about balanced squads. And people shouldn't get too carried away because they forget how good those Miami teams were back in the 80s. They forget how good Oklahoma was and Nebraska for a couple years. But this Bama team is about as good as it gets.
Yeah, I had a chance to watch them in person at Tennessee, and they were very impressive. I'm saying they like Tennessee don't have some guys too. So
well, and that's kind of my point, I guess, is that Tua is starting to get nicked up on the regular.
That's
now.
True.
He went down again this week, and I think that it actually ought to be a consideration. If he's not at 100%, they should maybe consider. Let's let this kid sit until it matters the most. I don't know.
And we have the backup of a guy who's won a national championship, and it kind of rested him the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that might be the plan.
So if you had to if you're playing with house money, you think Alabama runs the table, wins the national championship?
I'm definitely not betting against Bama.
Got it. So you think Notre Dame is not a lock? You think they're the most likely not to get in?
Out of that group, because I agree, Big Ten champions, I think they'll end up making it, especially if it's Michigan who ends up winning, because they've been hot. They lost the first game and won everything since.
They have.
So I think it's all about when you lose, and they hadn't lost in a long time. So I think that'll definitely help them.
Okay, so if you've got Alabama, Clemson, and the Big Ten champ, if you were sitting on the committee and everything laid as it was now, who gets that 4th spot?
So it comes down to Notre Dame or UCF? Is that what we're thinking?
Oklahoma's got to be in the mix. I mean, Kyler Murray should be the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, I saw some stats with him compared to Tua, and his stats are actually better, but obviously.
Well, he actually plays the whole game, too.
That's true. That's true.
With Kyler Murray, when he lost to Texas, this stat, I see stats all the time that's interesting, and this is interesting. Kyler Murray was a 4-year starter in Texas high school football.
Never lost.
That was the first loss of his football career to Texas in week 5 or 6. Right. That's unbelievable.
And he's a freak, and ain't no doubt about that.
And you realize he's only playing. Folks get to see him now because he may never play football again after this year. He was was taken by the Mariners.
It was a pretty high draft pick, right?
Oakland's, I think, is who drafted him. But that's part of his contract is he'll play this year, and then after that he's done. Special kid. If you haven't seen him, check him out. Anybody out in the Pac-12 that catches your fancy? Washington State, I think, now is on top out there. I don't think anybody's overwhelmed with them.
I don't think they're going to be a team that can push for the playoffs. But, Washington State has been impressive in a couple of games. Got a chance to watch them. I don't think they can make that final push.
All right. So last week, we were getting ready for Pittsburgh and Carolina. Your thoughts?
Well, luckily, we had an opportunity to bring our boys to a football game at NC State. All right, so we brought 30 players on a bus. A couple coaches went. So I didn't actually get to watch the Panthers and the Steelers game. When we were leaving.
Instead, you had to watch NC State get beat.
I know, that part stunk. But so I didn't actually get to witness the Panthers.
You didn't miss much.
No, I did not. I saw a couple highlights, and it looked like all the highlights were for Pittsburgh for sure.
Well, the good thing is for Panther fans out there and for NC State fans, it only counts as one loss, no matter how ugly or how bad you feel about it. Coach, any closing thoughts?
I enjoy doing this stuff. I appreciate Zaxby's and Classic Nissan, all these people, and you for coming out and supporting us every week. It means a lot to the boys. They like to talk about this kind of stuff, so I just appreciate y'all doing this.
All right. And as for putting more students in the stands, I couldn't agree more. It's been a little surprising. There have been some weeks where we've been there and it's a packed house and the place is wild. When the weather gets bad, it gets a little dicey. If you're out there and you're looking at this and you want to get involved in the community, there's sponsor dollars and things out there. There's some creative ways that we could entice some of those students to get out there. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And if you got any ideas, we could do any giveaways or anything like that, please let me know, because we'd love to have the place packed and really have the atmosphere it deserves for football at this time of the year.
Without a doubt. And we'll be playing on Friday night for sure at 7:30, so it makes a difference too, where it's not a Thursday or a Monday or a Saturday, so that makes a difference.
I don't ever recall being a part of a schedule for a high school football team here or anyplace else where there were so many games that got moved, and then that kind of had a ripple effect, and we need to move this one because this team played on Monday, and that could have been a whole lot of fun. But hopefully next year,
Fridays,
period.
Hopefully so, yes sir.
Mark your calendar. All right, you've been watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show once again. Download the podcast from the cheap seats with Chris DeLambert, Brandon Atkins. You won't regret it. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks for watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show, only on WBFT. Brought to you by First Bank. And by Zaxby's Friends Family Flavor with your host, Chris DeLambert, only on the WBFT NFH Sports Network.
If something is worth doing, it's worth doing right. In this case, it's worth doing right and left. Introducing the all-new buttermilk and hand-breaded Southern Sweet and Smoky and Southern TLC chicken sandwiches. One has sweet pickles, shredded lettuce, smoky backyard sauce, and a potato bun. The other is an undeniable classic with lettuce, tomato, and mayo. Zaxby's. Friends. Family. Flavor. Order ahead on Zaxby's.com or use our app to skip the wait.
For online banking made easy, there's only one choice, First Bank. Online banking, checking accounts for business and family to fit every need, including mobile banking, no-fee traveler's checks, and money orders, and so much more. First Bank is conveniently located on Spring Lane, South Corner, and Sanford, and North Main and Broadway. First Bank is your progressive community bank.
Hi, I'm David Bashir. Here at First Bank, we feel like we've got all the right people in the right place to serve your banking needs now and in the future.